Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Monday. It's September 11th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And just a quick update. Most of you know I told you I had COVID. Um, I'm better. I think I'm through the worst of it, but I'm still really weak. So I'm only able to just work a little bit here and there. I'm not really. I didn't trade today. I came in, did the mid-morning chart, and then I went back home. And I'm just getting stir crazy, so I decided I'd come back and do a chart lesson. But it just wore me out to come back to the office for long enough to do this. So unless I'm feeling a lot better tomorrow, this may be it for the week. This thing has knocked me for a loop. Again, I'm through the worst of it, but I'm just weak, and just to walk across the room, it just literally wears me out. Um, it's like having a very terrible case of the flu. So anyway, I appreciate I got all the get well wishes and so forth. I'm definitely better. Um, they gave me some more meds today to take that made me feel a little better this afternoon too. That's the reason I decided to come back and do the chart lesson. But I just don't know how the rest of the week's going to go. I'm going to play it by ear. If I'm feeling good enough in the morning, I'll come in and do a mid-morning chart and maybe try to trade a little bit. And if I'm not, I'm not coming in. So um, it's going to be hit or miss this week, just depending on how I'm feeling and how I'm feeling at the moment. I may be feeling good because I feel real good for a little bit, and then I feel real bad again. Mostly it's just if I overexert myself. So it doesn't take much to overexert myself either. So I'll just leave it at that. But here we are. Let's get through this real quick. It was kind of a range day today. It was an up day because we closed on the upside. This looks really bullish here, but today, if you see the intraday chart, it doesn't. The 2,000 tick chart, it doesn't look nearly that bullish. Although we did close near the highs, so it is a positive day. But we mostly traded sideways and just kind of rallied up and closed on the highs for near the highs of the day. So let's flip over there and take a look at that chart. And not a lot of trades today. It is rollover, start of rollover day, so the market may be a little quiet for another day or two as the big guys roll over from one contract to the next. So um, generally, you can trade these days. A lot of people ask me about that. I've never had any problem trading on rollover days and rollover weeks and things like that. It's just like any other time. If you get the setup, take it. If you don't, just sit tight. And today was one of those days where you didn't get a ton of setup, so you just sit tight. But anyway, to keep this as short as possible, let's flip over there and go through the trades. And I'm gonna do the best I can. And then when I'm tired, I'm gonna wrap up and I'm going home. Okay, here it is. You can see it's just mostly sideways, and there's a few trades in here. I've got a few green ones that could, they're close. They could go either way. Um, but yeah, it's just not a great trading day. But again, there are some decent trades here. There's a few you had to be real patient though. But we had the first leg up, then a two-legged correction. So you're looking for a measured leg, and we never could reach that. We sold off here pretty strongly. I wouldn't say really strongly, but we sold off considerably here, and then made another run at it. And still, we're finding really stout resistance up around 45, 40, 45, 50 area. So looks like that held for the rest of the day, really. Although we didn't sell off, we couldn't breach that. So um, anyway, 7 o'clock we got this correction, and we're working up here, and you can clearly see we had two legs back, and then we make a first entry short and then a second entry short. And so when that fails, that's probably going to act like a continuation pattern. It's not really a reversal. It's just a failure in a continuation, looking for a second leg up. Nice, really nice signal bar. I marked it green because it's not an ideal spot that you're really looking for a failure. But all the same, it's probably going to trap people and give you a quick, easy scalp if nothing else. And you might even got a runner on that one. So turns out to be a nice trade. I marked it green. We're just getting too far away from the EMA up here. This one is tempting. I did not mark it. It looks really congested. There's probably enough room in there to scalp out. It's definitely a double top, but that's the first close outside this trend line on this second leg up, and so I'm a little hesitant of going short that soon. It's a possibility. Maybe you take it, maybe you don't. And of course, the bottom just falls out of. If you took it, you look like a hero because the bottom just drops out and it falls straight down, and you don't even get another chance to enter. But it's risky. It could easily bounce there and move up one more time and then do exactly what it did. So you're taking a chance there. It's risky. So it's a high. It's one of those trades that it's if you hit it right, it probably pays off well for you. But you're taking a gamble there. So I'm going to make that one green, and it's a strong green too. So anyway, drops on down. We're just too far away from the EMA. And if you're just patient, quickly you get a second entry short here. That's a questionable signal bar. I think it closes in this lower 1/3, but it's a clear second entry, two legs. That's a classic two legs back. First time back to the EMA after dropping under. Clear second entry. You got to take that trade. Then you get another clear one with a great signal bar here. And you might want to look at that as a lower high, but there's not much room left there, so I don't think you can take it. And then, of course, now we reverse. Once you got your break and two legs down, actually you get three little swings down, then it reverses. I don't see anything there. I want to trade in either direction. Same thing here. Then finally you get another first entry, second entry. And this one actually broke higher and turned down. I like trade that on the engulfing bar. If you wait till it closes, it's like 14 ticks and it's got a little stem on it. I still think it closes in the lower 1/3. You could still take that trade, but I think it turns it to green then. I made this one green because if you didn't take it on the engulfing bar, I think it's a little more risky. But then you get a lower high right here, and I think it's okay to go short right there. I like that one better actually. Prices push through the EMA pullback to test it like you would expect. You do have to go short at the very low of this move to take this trade, but I wouldn't enter that on the engulfing bar. I'd wait for that to close. Actually, you could. I think it broke lower first and went up and then came back down, so you have to wait for that one to close. I don't think with it breaking lower and coming back and then coming back, you want to trade that on the engulfing bar. So that's why I say that. Now, if it had broke higher and just turned and went straight down, yeah, sure. But I'm pretty sure that broke lower and then went higher and then came back down. If I'm wrong and it broke higher first and came down, you could take that on the engulfing bar. We get a close outside new low. We make a higher low here. This one's tempting to ride it back to the EMA, but that's just too congested to me. And then you get notice you got a new low. First entry, you push through second entry. If it breaks above there, it's a failure. And now you're kind of looking for a reversal. This would be a spot where you might look for one. And it does turn into be a reversal. It doesn't just take off like you would hope, but it does turn out to be the low of the day and a reversal point. That's a nice trade. Then you clearly get two legs back and you just kind of chop around sideways here. Nothing I see I'd want to take there. There is a second entry long here, but that's a very neutral bar. It's not back to the key entry point. It just looks a little sideways there. I'd say wait on a higher low, which you get here, but again, it's not a very good setup. So again, I don't think you want to take it. And then suddenly you get a second entry long here. This makes a higher swing than this one. So first entry, second entry, and again, it's right off the key entry point. It's not a perfect signal bar, so I did mark it green. But I kind of like that trade because that trend line's holding all the way up. And that is a second entry. So there's one you can take. Again, I marked it green, but I still like it somewhat. And then you get another two legs back. Now notice by the counts, this would be a first entry, second entry, third entry. But what you have here is you have a leg back and then a two-legged correction and then another leg back. It's clearly two legs back to the EMA and the trend line. A good signal bar. You got to take that trade. Now, if you're just sitting there watching the second entry counts, you're going to probably get a first, second, third entry right there, and you're going to say, "Oh, that's a third entry. I can't take that." But if you understand how to read this chart and can see there's a leg back and then a two-legged correction and then another leg back, I'd still treat that like a second entry all day long. If you get a good signal bar there, which you do. And a lot of times that's the center of the pattern. When you get that correction there in the middle, um, doesn't turn out to be that case today, but sometimes it does. And it ends up we're just chopping sideways here. I don't think you can go short here yet, and you can't go long right into there. This is the first opportunity to enter. Again, you get a long right here off the support. Nice signal bar with room to get out, and that takes you on into 230. So there just wasn't much there today. And again, I'm not going to beat around the bush because there's not much more I can say about today. It's just a really mixed trading type day. It's a rollover day. Um, there's a lot of reasons that the market just kind of consolidating today. So there it is. I'm going to make it short and sweet. We'll see what the rest of the week brings. Again, don't be surprised if you don't hear from me one morning or one afternoon, because unless I continue to get a little better every day, I may just sit home and rest so I can get past this. But I was stir crazy this afternoon, and I just had to get back out. So I was feeling a little better. But it does wear me out just to kind of walk very far. If I have to walk more than across the room, it just wears me out. And you probably can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice and all. The stuffiness and the clogged up is gone, but I still do not have my voice is still weak, and that's just because I'm weak overall. I think this thing really knocked me for a loop. So anyway, I'm trying to take care of myself and not overdo it. Most of you know I'm a kind of a workaholic. I can't sit still very long, so I'm probably my own worst enemy, but here I am. I did it, and we had a full Monday, and it may be the only full day we have this week, but I'm going to keep trying. We'll see how I'm feeling. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.